Alright. Welcome back,
Certainly.
guys. I know it's been a while. Well, for some of you, maybe. So, we took out the pirate guy in the last episode. And... okay. Now we come back to him.
As you like.
Captain Ferrante. This guy. How do we... why are you not letting me speak to him?
Ah, Watcher. Good. You have arrived.
Yeah, I've been walking in front of you for like at least a minute.
A little seabird informs me that you have dealt with our mutual problem, the scoundrel Benoit.
His eyes glint as a fierce grin cuts across his face, and his lone dimple deepens.
Gelarde. For this you have my grandest commendation.
You'd have been right amused, you would. Few sights as fine as that hard blowing three-sheeter getting what's long been due him.
Hands on his hips, a seraphim juts his chest forward, blue fur expanding like a bird's plumage.
You are lacking in so many ways, my former ship hunter, but no one can say you are not entertaining.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
I myself would have enjoyed watching you put the scoundrel in his place.
Let's see. He had it coming, stoic. I didn't bother with Benoit just for your praise. Clever. Nah, he had that coming.
That he did. Indeed.
Ferrante strokes his fingers down the line of his jaw, eyes downcast on the thought. Minor positive reputation gained with Principe Senpantorinia. Patrina. Responding to the collapse of Grand Viala, 2720 to 2760 AI. I wonder what AI stands for. Noble families picked up their households and sailed abroad, seeking opportunities away from the shadows of their homeland. Over time, their old world traditions evolved into a new identity as the Principe Senpantrana. The princess is without a homeland, a loosely connected and regulated organization of pirates. Right. I know I've read that before, but for me it's been a while.
And as promised, I have prepared for you a fine prize.
With a sweep of his arm, he offers you a magnificent cloak. You've gained an item, Cloak of Protection. The item was put into your stash. Protection, plus 5 fortitude, plus 5 reflex, plus 5 will. Capes and cloaks can be worn for protection from elements and the prying eyes alike. Many are woven with spells to provide additional defense or abilities. It's only worth 50 copper pieces, but I'll take it.
However, there is another matter of which we must now speak.
Okay, and what would that be?
I must confess to you a bit of a problem has arisen. One which speaks to your expertise with the supernatural. We've sighted the floating hangman that haunts the Deadfire.
The floating hangman, a ghastly and rotting ship that haunts the Deadfire, as he's said before. Manned by an undead crew, this vessel is rumored to becalm the seas, and sails veiled with an unnatural fog. Wait, did you just say a ghost ship that haunts the Deadfire? Have we any sketches of it? I wouldn't mind documenting this phenomenon. Ooh, Arcana. History. I've read accounts of an undead ship that flies a Dracuzi flag. Yes. The Dracuzi family was the loyal lineage of Grand Viala. The Dracuzi Paladini were founded to guard the crown family and its place circa 800 AI. Though both Paladini and family were scattered during the collapse of Grand Viala. Even 2 centuries later, each still persists into a less sovereign but impressively affluent means. Since my Arcana is 8, 9 with the party. Ooh. History's pretty good though. Hold shift for more information. I'm gonna do the Arcana since it's the highest. Have we any sketches of it?
A few somewhat crude ones. Not many who encountered the floating hangman live to tell the tale, or otherwise record it.
Yeah.
This galleon, what likely remains of the Fonferros, is a frightful legend.
The Fonferros. Meaning iron strength. The Fonferros is the Grand Vilayan galleon. The Jacuzzi Paladin Lucia Rivane used to flee the burning palace when charged to protect the royal family's sword. Okay.
We have been losing ships at sea, Amika, and not to those Valera ship-hunting bastards. I believe the floating hangman may be our culprit. Fortune favors us, as I have procured a survivor from such a recent sinking. You will consider what she has to say.
Head craning abruptly to the side, he barks a loud order.
Come forth, Selenia. Quickly now, or I will run rivers of your lethargic blood.
At that last, he smiles. Okay. Sun-blistered and raw-boned, the pirate regards you both with a discerning glare. She tongues a chapped bottom lip, but keeps quiet.
Well, spit it out, Selenia, and try not to embarrass me before our guest.
Of course, Captain. It might have pretty hard near the end, but I spit the tale as best as I can.
The pirate touches a spot on the base of her skull and winces. She glances off to the side, eyes black and full of hurt. Ferrante sighs and rubs tiredly between his brows.
Go on, Mom. Ready as I'm like to get me.
I'm ready as I'm like to... Go on, Mom. I'm ready as I'm like to get me. With a shiver, the pirate turns her black button eyes to you. Okay. I'll try not to press you to remember more than you absolutely need. You will think it hard to recount every detail you can, understand? Do it even if it hurts. Even if it kills you. Uh-huh. What happened to you? Okay, we're gonna be a little benevolent here. And I'll try not to press you to remember more than we absolutely need.
You aren't quite what I expected, Watcher. You're...
She wets her lips.
kinder than most.
Selenia pointedly avoids Ferrante's gaze, a grimy hand scrubbing at her mouth.
Saw my old crew slaughtered me, my best mates, and even the few I hated. They weren't but blood and meat in the end.
Okay.
It branded the back of my eyes that moment. High seas, nothing but blue all around. Then, mist so thick you could taste it. Ships sailed from within, out of nowhere.
So that must have been the fog that they fly through, that they're veiled in.
Was a hunt, not for loot, but for bodies. The ship, it looked...
She gropes at her hip, but there's nothing there. Fingers fumbling at the air. She bares her teeth.
rotted. The crew, they were all undead. Couldn't stop them from boarding. Couldn't kill them. Couldn't even fight them in the end.
Okay, so there was obviously a struggle. She lost most of her crew. Tell me about them, the undead. How were you taken by surprise in open sea? When did this happen? How did you survive the attack? So, the fog is why they were taken by surprise. The undead are just undead. When did this happen? She ruffles a hand through her shirt, short hair, scowls.
Dunno me. Drifted for days, maybe longer. Kept winking in and out after I ran out of drink.
So she ran
One
out
of
of
mine
rum.
found her no more than a week ago. Malnourished, dehydrated. The poor girl was scarcely able to speak.
So...
Well,
okay.
I'm more than able to gabble now, aren't I? Could sail, too. No, you got no reason to keep me.
She flits her hand over her softness of her shirt. I don't know what flits means. We have very high perception here. Again, her fingers hesitate close to her hip. The fabric crinkled there, where a pistol might normally be strapped. Yeah, I thought that earlier. A muscle tickles in Ferrante's jaw, but he otherwise ignores her.
Perhaps there is something else you wish to ask of our guest before she departs from us.
How'd you survive the attack?
Calling me Craven? Sure, I am.
She snorts. She rubs at the back of her head, though she rubs at the back of her head, rough, like she needs it to hurt.
Took a knock-in and I was out for a while. When I came to, they were eating Ganasco, our steward.
Oh. I thought Ganasco was like a meal, but apparently it was the steward.
I dropped a dinghy and rode for it. Don't know why they didn't give chase. Don't much care me.
Tell me about them, the undead.
They were dreadful. Some were clothed, like maybe they'd only recently died. Others weren't more than moving bones. One was different. Her presence was overwhelming. Heavy. Flames burned in the place of her eyes. The crew shambled hard to do her bidding, even the ones who seemed hardly aware. Figured she was the captain, me.
She shrugs, gaze going far away.
There is a flag the floating hangman flies. A flag that once heralded the Fonferus of Old Valia. It belonged to our Darkotsi paladin of some legend, one Lucia Rivan.
Old Vaela? Is that how we pronounce that? Grand Vaela was a sprawling and culturally rich empire. The Valaean colonies settling far north and south of Glandfith. However, problems with the empire's Adrian expansion efforts, along with the steep economic decline, led Vailian colonies to secede in 2641 AI, establishing themselves as the Vailian Republics, a confederacy of allied city-states. For the next century, Grand Vaela collapsed into Old Vaela as more and more nobles and their retainers fled the empire. Many of them immigrating to the Deadfire, which is where we are now, initially trying to survive as merchant ships. Those immigrants eventually descended into piracy as their trade networks decayed and were taken over by nascent Vailian and Ryutanian colonies. It belonged to Dracuzi, paladin of legends, one Lucia Rivain.
But Selenia's knowledge is limited in this regard. Let us instead ask her of a subject she may know.
I mean, we can ask her about the surprise taken by Open Sea.
Me and my crew were adept. Alert. Always. No. Weren't no one gonna get the jump on us. Was some magic foul. Just sudden like, the winds died, the waters fell flat and the air got heavy. They turned sky and the sea both against us. Then this thick fog roiled up at midday. Without a sound, the Spectre ship
She glides her hand in the air.
skimmed right out. It was too late. We couldn't outsail it.
Yeah. That'll be all. Selena cuts a glance to Ferrante for confirmation. When he dismissively waves her away, her black eyes narrow and she raises her chin, defiant. But then he turns his full gaze to her, suddenly seething, and she shrinks it on herself. and she shrinks in on herself. Fist shaking at her side, she reluctantly retreats.
She belongs to Aldis, who undoubtedly will come to claim her soon. But that is a problem for another time.
Bronte sighs.
One moment, Watcher.
The captain scowls at Solana's retreating back, a dark anger warming his cheeks. Why the secrecy? Dare and be damned, Captain, as I believe you told Selena. Spit it out already. He grins, wild and roguish. Minor positive reputation with Principius in Pentrena gained.
Looks like we'll be making a salty grog-sucking cur of this one yet.
Aloth sighs through his nose. Irresponsibility.
Mind the manner in which you address me, ship hunter.
The mirth evaporates from his face. Minor positive reputation gained again.
Allow me to cut to the heart of it. Lucia Rivan, whose flag flies atop our spectral ship, was a Dakotsi paladin who died more than 200 years ago. It is my hope that uncovering the details regarding dear Rivan's fate in life may illuminate the nature of her undeath and how to defeat her galleon.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the only soul who could possibly shine more light on our situation lies buried deep within Neketaka.
Neketaka. The great and ancient city of Neketaka is so old that that its foundations are said to predate the great Huana cataclysm of legend. I don't know what that is. I thought I could click on it, but I cannot. In recent years, the native Huana population has been crowded by arrival of Valian and Ruatana colonists, traders, and soldiers.
One Isir the Berethian, now well rotted, I presume.
Ysir the Barathian. I take it you have a plan. Do we know anything about this Lucian Rivian?
By all accounts, our Rivan was a Dorkotsi paladin who sailed to the Deadfire in order to safeguard a royal weapon of Old Valia.
Okay.
She is the epitome of Grand Valia, of magnificence, honor, and duty. Living or undead, she strives still to serve her charge. And yet, we know not why, but a Berethian priest called Isir opposed our Rivan, and fiercely. They fought to the death, Rivans to be precise, in this very archipelago.
Yeah, I noticed.
Along with her life, Rivan lost the sword she had sworn to protect.
He traces a jury line down his jaw.
It has, lamentably, remained unfindable since. I believe it may be why she searches the seas yet.
Who is the Ysir, the Berethian?
Regrettably, I know little but this. He was an Adiran warrior priest of Bereth, and a significantly fervent one, if tales are to be believed.
Bereth. God of death cycles doorways mortality and inevitability. Sounds a little like Thanos. Just because of the inevitability. And the keeper of the cycle of life and death, Bereth is thought to seek to claim the lives of those who have lived past their time. According to folklore, Bereth is seen most often in the form of the Pallid Knight or the Usher, two skeletal characters who lead such people to their deaths by the way of challenge, not change, or trickery.
He chased our Dakotsi to the Deadfire, hunting her to her death.
Yeah.
Shortly after slaughtering our brave paladin, the priest died, possibly of sickness, or perhaps from a festering battle wound.
Okay.
He was entombed in honor of his service to Berath in Neketaka's sacred stair.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to go to this place.
Indeed, I do.
He flashes a devious grin at you.
Though I and mine cannot so openly venture to the depths of Neketaka, nor can we commune with the dead. You, Watcher, are adept in both of these areas, correct?
It seems to be the case.
You must search the Temple of Berath on Neketaka's sacred stair. Izair's tomb within it should contain a chronicle for how and where he slayed our paladin, Rivan.
I'll see what I can do.
Gelarde, do return when you've any lead that may navigate us to where the floating hangman anchors.
Okay.
I will be waiting.
He nods cordially in dismissal. Alright. Oh. Let's take a look, because it's been a while for me. Right, so she still owes money, and I think I have enough money for that now. To pay off her debt from the adventure that we went on last time. I think. I have 700. 709. Hey, lady.
Welcome back, patron. I so hope you enjoy the performance.
Here, pay off your debt.
Don't give it to me, give it to Harker. Knowing him, he'll tack on a few extra expenses just to spite me. I can't fathom why you're doing this, but I thank you all the same.
I need you to be part of my play. Hey, red dude. Yeah, hey.
What can I do for you?
I want to pay off Tarina's
Got
debt.
to you, did she? The woman can spot a soft-hearted mark from 50 paces. Like a sixth sense or something.
He nods to you
Remarkable.
conspirately, as if he didn't just imply you were a sucker easily parted for your money. Uh-huh. Aloth nods, a quiet smile etched across his lips.
Here's the thing, though. It's more profitable for me to keep her under my thumb, so, sweet as your offer is, you can keep the money.
Uh-huh.
Unless there's something else you need, I think we're done here.
This guy is gonna be a pain in my butt. He turns away and begins fiddling with something beneath the bar. As he does, you spy a red-handed pistol stuffed into the band of his breeches. Will you take something else in exchange for her freedom?
If I wanted something else, I'd have asked for it. What can I do for you?
What a butt munch. Hey, he won't take it.
I fear not.
Welcome back, patron. I so hope... Don't give it to me, give it to Harker. I can't fathom why...
I tried.
Yes, I shall.
Alright. There's gotta be something here that we can do. Right?
What can I do?
What do we have here?
A young man dressed in skin-tight leather to give you a quick once-over. He must like what he sees because his smile widens. His lips just parted.
How can I ease your troubles, friend?
What do you do here?
I surprise and delight the clientele.
He winks.
My speciality's oils. Full-body rub-downs, right? Fit to leave you limber, clear-headed, and free of the stresses of hard living.
Oh my.
I got other skills, of course, should you be looking. And all for a measly 200 pyres.
Oh, I'm gone. I'm not that rich yet. I'm assuming you do the same thing, but for...
My, aren't you a pretty one?
Oh, you're kinda... not my type. An older woman looks at you up and down and smiles, revealing several golden teeth.
Did you need help with something, my dear?
What do you do here?
Isn't it obvious? I entertain, of course. It'll cost you 50 pyres, naturally. And don't let the wrinkles fool you. I'm still young at heart.
Yeah.
And I've got more experience than most.
Okay. I'm gone. But I am gonna... look at this. On the Fire Forge path, the trials of Garlic Yogden. Yeah, dried ale.
Touch the courtesans without their permission, and I'll break your legs. Got it?
Alright, so I couldn't find anything. He doesn't want anything. Dialogue doesn't change. There doesn't appear to be anything under here. I can't even go under there. So I am at a loss for how to help her. You find a lengthy blonde elf flipping through a book of Adrian poetry by the artist Skibia. His armor is well worn and well kept, and bears on its breast the image of a double-headed eagle holding a sword and a crown. Looking more closely, you notice that with his free hand, he's picking a padlock.
Hello. May I help you?
He catches you looking and gives you a shy smile.
Need anything?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm not sure what there is to tell. I'm a man of adventure, mostly.
Have you had any that would make a good story?
A few. More than I could share in a night, to be sure. There is one that's close to my heart. It led me to my love.
Well, go on. He nods, pleased.
I was on an expedition into the backwoods of Red Seras when I came across an abandoned town. To my great surprise, I found a tremendous hoard of books in the town priest's cottage.
Deerwood, neighbor to the north, Red Seras is a nation firmly rooted in Etho-Asian faith. Ethosian faith. Fever that took hold during the event of the Saints' War and remains even after the apparent death of Athos. What's surprising about that?
The Red Serans are conservative folk, more so even than the Adirans. They don't have much use for reading that doesn't come from one of the holy texts of the Church of Aethys.
Aethys. God of Rebirth. The guy that crushed my town castle thing.
And what a selection of books it was. Every subject represented, even some questionable ones. I couldn't help but help myself to them. I took as many as I could carry, and I can carry quite a bit. Read them all cover to cover and learned a lot too. I tired soon of wandering, so I settled in a small town in the Deerwood and became a tutor for a noble family. Fell in love with the governess, naturally, and I stayed. For a while.
Then what?
Well...
He rubs at the back of his neck and looks away for a moment.
I felt a stirring in my bones one day. I can't explain it. I just woke up, caught sight of the horizon, and had to go. I left my lady wife right there in our marital bed.
He sighs deeply. A look of longing flits across his face, but he stifles it with a quick frown.
I don't know what's waiting for me out here in the Deadfire, but I have hope this will be my biggest adventure yet.
Can you teach me what you've learned in your travels?
Well, you listened to my long tale. I suppose you are owed a trick or two. For the low price of 3,000 copper.
No, I don't think
your
so.
way, then.
Alright, we're out of there.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Radiant Court. 3,000 copper? That guy's crazy. What on earth could he offer for 3,000 copper?
A repeat customer. I like your type. What can I stock you up with today?
I just want to make sure that I have provisions for sailing. The row. Yep. Okay. And then we need some drink.
It's beyond
If it's a
me.
drink you're wanting, I got enough grog stock to drown a shark. Food's another story. What are you having? I'll pour you a double.
Show me what you got. Yep. Okay. Now we got drink and food.
Oh, indeed.
So, I don't know where to find your
I
people.
fear not. Everything's coming along beautifully on our end. I got a new script I'm drafting up.
Okay. What's your play about?
Only the biggest thing to hit the Deadfire since the Valian Trading Company started hunting us like sea hounds. Everything's coming along beautifully on our end. I got a new script I'm drafting up.
And what would you need
A
to
better
improve that?
Aethys, for one. I'm the tallest one in our troop. I'm still not very convincing, even when I bother to dye my skin blue. I'm in desperate need of 2 more performers. A wizard for one, plus any oaf big enough to pose as Aethys. I happen to know a wizard of the finest skill set who already performs here in Dunwich, Diana at the King's Coffin. But unfortunately, everything's coming along beautifully. A better Aethys. I happen
thought
to
I
know
ended that
everything's coming
conversation.
along.
Yeah, I don't know how to get the lady, and I don't know where an Aethys is. Oh, kitty. Is that a kit? Oh, that's a dog. Guess we will try to do that. That Lifter's Refuge is where we need to go.
For someone who talks so much, you seem to care about very little.
Oh, a large Almanu sailor sits on the docks, broad shoulders hunched forward, back bowed. When he shifts, his blue-green skin ripples over the hulking muscles.
Ain't no cruel eye of me. What good's a pirate who can't see? Forget navigating by the stars or shooting a pistol. I can't even swing a sword accurately now.
Poor guy.
Have a pity and toss me a pyre, will you?
Okay, well, here's 5 copper for you.
Andra's blessings to you for sharing, sailor.
Andra, goddess of oceans, forgotten things, loss, relentlessness, and mourning. Said to have once fallen in love with the moon, but tried to draw it near with catastrophic consequences. Remember reading this now. People bring tokens to her temples and things they wish to forget, and her clergy sees the tokens cast into the sea. What's your story?
Is this what my life boils down to? A moment of entertainment for others?
I wasn't taking this as entertainment. He sighs heavily, big shoulders hunched.
I was a bosun not so long ago, and a damn good one at that. But I took a shot to the face, see?
Yeah. He waves one massive hand in front of his sightless eyes.
Didn't lose much skin, but the flash burned out my eyesight. I can't make out so much as a blurry shape more than a foot away. Makes me right useless on a crew now, don't it? No one will have me for work.
Well, how would you feel about playing the part of Athos on stage?
What? I'm no actor. And besides, I can't barely see nothing as it is.
Believe me, you're perfect for the role. You just need to speak a few lines, standing there looking intimidating. No, I actually think you'd be really good for it.
You really think so?
He raises his chin up, tilting his face side to side as if exclaiming himself in a non-existent mirror.
Maybe I do have a mug made for the stage. I sure got the voice for it, eh?
Yeah.
Turn me in the right direction, and I'll make me way to the Radiant Court.
Alright, walk that way and then to your left.
Apologies, lad. Didn't realise we'd be only ever speaking of subjects deep and meaningful.
Oh, don't strain yourself on my account.
Is he gonna get there? I kinda wanna go look now.
Indeed.
Stage is this way, ain't it?
It's this way. I'll show you the way. So he might be there now? Yep, there he is.
Where'd you find a blue-green Almoa? And a damn giant of one, too. All right, maybe you can't see so well, but I can work with that. He's perfect.
Oh, good.
I still need Taerna to cast the spells for our stage effects, though.
Yeah, about her. He's being a butt.
Everything's coming along beautifully on our end.
Dang, I don't know. I guess we'll come back and try another time on that. I'm happy to find that guy, though. He was just sitting there, and I was like, that's perfect.
Seraphim, thought we agreed you'd stay out of my head.
I weren't in your head, lad. You think like an ogre snores. Would be a fool and a half not to make sure them thoughts ain't full up of trouble.
What do you think you're gonna find?
Nothing particular, just, anything.
Alright, so supply. You've received an important missive from Captain Aladus. Wine and gunpowder scented letter. That's an interesting combination. Quest item. So, you had a little run-in with Ben, and then you dragged it to my doorstep. You could have wiped your feet before you stomped on it, but I digress. I know what you did, and I know who you are. And unlike my unfortunately block-headed second-in-command, I recognize a threat when it smacks me upside the head. So, this is me, Captain Aldius, Commander of the Gods, damned New Blood Principe, leader of the second largest fleet of pirates in the God's fucking Deadfire, inviting you, a terrifyingly powerful and strange watcher, to come and meet me under the strict parley at Fort Deadlight, which is to say, I promise not to gut you when you arrive for dinner and drinks. Looking forward to having a little hearthside chat. I would like to offer you a partnership of the most glorious and goriest variety. I scratch your back, you gut my enemies from hip to jaw, we laugh at their deaths over a bottle of the finest rum. Oh, and when you come, bring some candid nuts. Your newest and dearest friend, Aldi. P.S. This is not a trap. There's a lot to uncover in this letter here. First, they were drunk when they made it, and I guess near the... Oh my gosh. Where do we need to go again? Fort Deadlight. Alright, so pause. Fort Deadlight. That was exactly where we came from, right? Oh, okay. They're pretty strong. Murkwater Lagoon. Man, these guys are just absolutely tough. Alright, so I guess we can go back to where... Oh, I did not mean to leave. Dang it. Oh, we're on the ship. Can I talk to everyone? Hey, how you doing? Oh, guess you're not wanting to talk to me.
This be important, lass, so listen close. Whatever you be owing a watcher, you don't owe your life. You ever be wanting to leave, you just pack right up and ship out.
Why would I want to leave? I like it here.
Just saying, lass. She don't own you. Nobody does. If you be having a tick, Cap, I'll be thinking that, if I be dragging you into these depths, you deserve the full sounding.
This is about Romero, I take it. I'm happy to listen.
When I were a wee swabby, fresh to the sea, it were Romero that showed me the ropes and rigging. More than that, he kept his weather eye open for me.
He plucks at the fur on his brow.
The sea be a right poxy ore on occasion, and life aboard the Sorcerer, that and more. Malnash, our ship hunter, she were all wet and bothered for doing me harm. And Romero, he protected me. Mentored me too. Learned me letters and navigation, handed down the Principe traditions. In time, we became close as kin or closer. And the Sorcerer, my family. Fair. He be of old Valian stock. A good man and righteous. Not honest, of course, but honourable. Were our shipboard sawbones, more than half handy at it.
He smiles and rubs his upper right arm.
More than one swabby be on the old salt of deferral from the wheel.
Were you two romantically involved?
Why, Cap? You be feeling a bit of the old envy?
He grins, bumping his eyebrows twice in quick succession.
Nay, we never shared a bunk. Not that I'd have kicked him out of a hammock, but, like I said, we be family. He never took advantage.
Why did this Malina want to hurt you?
Well, only knows, Cap. She treated me like my mere presence gave offence.
I promise we'll find him.
Thanks, Cap. I'll be holding you to it.
He bows.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for?
I can flirt with Seraphim? Oh, no. So, Seraphim.
Aye, Cap.
Short blue and hirsute happens to be my type. That was quite the pair of pistols you were packing when we first met. The sea seems particularly calm today. Almost makes you want to make some waves. Seraphim blinks, chuckles, and runs a hand across his head.
Cap, it's, well, it ain't like I don't think highly of you, and being short and blue, I know I ain't got much room to,
He takes a vested interest in his feet.
See, my relationship with Andra, it be complicated enough as is.
You're not interested because I'm godlike?
No, more, flog me. More not being quite attracted to the, bits and bobs that come with being godlike.
Have you ever been with a godlike before?
No.
Give me a chance, that's an order? Ooh. I expected better from you.
Sorry, Cap.
That's alright. He's not interested, he's not interested. He is a flirtatious mother. So. Let's see who else we can talk to. Oh.
I'm all ears. Tell me what's on your mind.
How did you become a worshipper of Guan, and more so than Athos?
My folks, you might say they're not your typical Aethasians. Sure, they cling to the light more than the darkness.
Pro-Athasian. I really wish they went with Athasian. Whatever. Editor points affably in approval.
But the war, it touched my family. And it changed them. Killed some. Not that I remember firsthand. The others toughened, turned survivors. That much I saw with my own eyes, even years later.
Are there others like you? Other Guanits out there? Guanit?
Of course. Though we're few and spread out. Most don't keep to temples. Soul shepherding requires travel.
Eddard nods in agreement again.
My aunt's the one who taught me about the cycle of life and death, how everything happens in stages.
The faint trace of a smile forms on Eddard's lip.
Whether forwards or backwards, from seed to rot to rebirth again, it's all just states of existence and balance. See?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that.
That's how I first learned about the slice of Gone within Aethys.
Okay. She grins big, confident and happy.
After that, I read all the doctrines of Gone. Anything and everything I could get my hands on.
Such as?
The 12 books of Nearwith, plus the epistles from the minor prophets. A lot of them aren't a part of today's canonization, but that doesn't mean they're wrong.
She crosses her arm over her chest, expression pitched.
It's tradition for the youngest born to take up the priesthood of Aethys. Well, I did it in my own way.
Okay.
No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening.
How are you feeling? Have you suffered any recent nightmares?
I did, recently with you. You were walking the depths of the ocean, but you didn't drown. And in your hand, you gripped the key to Aora's End.
What is Aora's End? Her face aligns with a fierceness.
I've seen stars wreathing a statue's brow, and souls flowing like tears over gleaming Audra. And then my god headed into the heart of the storm, where he could find the darkness.
What are your thoughts on Athos?
We talking during the Saints' War, or after he died?
Saints' War began as a peasant revolt in Red Saris, led by a farmer named Wade Wen, who claimed to be the living vessel of the god Athos. After overthrowing the Red Saren government, Wade Wen invaded the neighboring Deerwood, where he was defeated, destroyed by a weapon dubbed the Godhammer Bomb. Athos has not been heard from since. Godhammer Bomb. Zodi taps a finger on her lips and hums thoughtfully. What's the difference? Might be a little insensitive here. There's clearly a big difference. Not that I understand the difference. Tell me about him leading up to and during the Saints' War.
I really only know what my folks taught me.
She scratches at the back of her head.
Aethys embodied Saint Widwin, but during the war, he got blown to bits. That's the thing about human bodies. Eventually, they all gotta die.
I suppose.
As the god of rebirth, of course, Aethys would be coming back. But where I differ from my family's view, and my High Priestess's view, is that I've studied the apotheosis of Gone.
Okay.
And I know all about the backside, the downward swoop, the death part of the cycle of life. Abscission, rot, regrowth. What's gone can never be again. What comes back is changed. Always. Even if what comes back is a god.
And what's your take on Athos following the Saints' War?
Then you mean Gone. Sure, maybe my god still answers to Aethys as well. Why not? But Aethys died, and death requires change.
So to you, Athos died and became Gone.
He ain't what he was. Not in exactly the same way. That's why I think his other aspect, his darkness in the light, is what's burning brighter in him now. Aethys embodied Saint as the god, and I know what's gone can never be again. No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening.
What's your
we
thoughts on
talking
that?
during the Saints' War, or after he died?
I don't want to do this, but I'm going to.
Well, before he died, he was still Aethys as the majority of my brethren know him. Aethys embodied a human, and when that human got blown to bits, we all believed Aethys died.
How do you know that he did that?
And I think a part of him did. The part he'd most closely woven into living flesh. The part that represented life. and rebirth after death. Which means the part of him that could have survived, that stormed across the Deadfire seas, was the side more aligned with obsidian, rot, and falling away. That which is death.
Okay.
No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening.
Should you be swearing so much as a priest?
Reckon not.
That's okay, it's not like you're gonna go to hell for it.
But I can't help but be a touch wayward.
Aloth gives you a pained look.
I don't take it too far. My mom caught me once necking in the Merkberry stalks. And of course I fight. But I've not done much more than that. And I don't use the real ugly words.
She waggles her sickle around in a helpless sort of gesture.
Sometimes the feelings, they just come tumbling right out of me. Gods darn it.
Gods darn it. Edgar gives a nod and a wink. Alright,
I'm
that's all
glad
for
we
now.
talked.
Yeah. Who are you? I don't know who you are. Ah, my two favorite companions.
Hey, this brings back some memories, huh?
Memories that I don't remember. What are your thoughts on Athos at the moment? Eee.
I want the destruction to stop.
That's fair.
I want him to finish what he's doing and then go in peace.
That might be a while.
Only I don't see it playing out that way. If you like.
What did you do after the end of the Legacy?
I like that feeling. Knowing we'd stop Theos. We were part of something big.
Theos' Arcanon was a member of the Engwithan civilization Grandmaster Leden Key, an organization devoted to keeping the secrets of the gods, having aligned with the goddess Wodika. Theos possessed the power to recall the memories of all past lives, making him one of the history's most notorious schemers. He was killed by the Watcher of Caed Nua, bringing the end of the Deerwood Hollowborn crisis. So that is what happened in the first game. I know that for a fact, because the Hollowborns were people born without souls, and it was pretty much the overarching plot for the first game.
That was something I never felt before. Not even at war. Guess I went looking for it again.
Guess so.
Not that I wanted to tangle with gods, but something smaller. Something I thought I could manage.
Yeah.
I looked all around the Deerwood, but that place has too many ghosts for me. Things I'd just as soon forget.
I understand that.
Ended up moving to Adir and tracking down my parents. They went there as refugees after the war ended.
Did you find a way to be useful?
In part, I guess. Adir, they still got some bad blood with Deerwood. Goes back to the Revolution.
I see.
Some Adirans like to give Deerwoodans a hard time they get the chance. With my folks, a group came along and tried to take their land. Made a phony claim to it.
What did you do?
I sat down with them and we had a friendly negotiation.
I'm pressing X to doubt.
One fella, I don't think he'll ever be able to look to his right again. But we came to an understanding.
Okay.
My folks, well, they didn't see me the same after that. I think they'd have rather given up the land than have it come to violence.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, Edward.
I don't know if that was something we could have avoided, or if it was the cost of trying to fix things. If you like.
How do you like Deadfire?
The air is different. Especially compared to Gilded Vale, where there's more livestock than shovels.
Yeah.
Sounds different, too. You wake up to all those bird calls, it really does sound like they're making music. If the birds woke you in Gilded Vale, it was usually a couple crows making the most horrible mating noises you ever heard. Strange thing is, I still get this feeling in me like I wish I was home.
I get that. Let's get moving. And Aloth.
Thank you again for maintaining my story in front of Vanessa and the others.
It gives you a grateful smile that fades almost as quickly as it appears.
I didn't enjoy deceiving them, but it seemed simpler than the alternative.
So he flicks the sickle back and forth, agitated. Skullduggery? The hell hell does skullduggery even mean? I'm gonna look that up because I don't even know what that is. Skullduggery. Underhanded or underscrupulous behavior. Trickery. Okay. If you say so, simpler than explaining the involvements of the Laden K? Absolutely. Keeping up a lie is never simple. You should know better than anyone. I don't know that much about Aloth. And lonelier, you seem to care for them, but they didn't really need you.
I'm working against one of the most secretive organizations in all of Aora.
The faint trace of a smile forms on Edward's lips. Anti-lead Cain? Leaden Key?
One with a rather troubled history as far as animancy is concerned. That's not the sort of thing one shares with new friends.
He pauses and shifts his shoulders as if working out a kink. Irked, so he runs her tongue over her teeth.
Believe me, I take no pleasure in duplicity.
What exactly were you doing out there?
After we parted, I set out to destroy the Leaden Key. It's controlled us for too long. I wanted to free Kith from it.
Oh, okay.
So for 5 years, I've been tracking down Leaden Key circles, searching for the places where they operate in secret.
He knits his brow.
Trying to undo them.
You're doing the right thing, don't forget it. He gives you a wan smile.
The task has been more difficult than I anticipated.
Sure. How so?
I don't think I fully understood the weight of the decisions I would have to make. Or the burden of living with them. It was much easier when I only had to follow someone else's lead. My father's, Theos's, yours.
He glances at you at the corner of his eye. You had a sense of purpose when you began with this. Don't lose it. Is there some way I can help?
I wish I knew. After we defeated Theos, I thought the hard part of undoing his work would be tracking down the Leaden Key's members and operations.
Maybe he had an address book. Too bad. Too bad you burned his robes. But
perhaps this would be easier with an example.
Okay.
I went to a village in Old Valia. A run-down backwater of a place. Centuries ago, the Leaden Key had intervened to end some heretical cult. The details were lost, but what had endured was a practice of ritual bloodletting. A gruesome, pointless tradition.
He grimaces.
At every full moon, the villagers would feed the soil with their blood. No one, young or old, sick or hale, was exempt.
There are too many idiots in the world anyway. Ooh. You helped them, right?
That's where it gets complicated.
He frowned at his interlaced fingers.
The village priest administered the practice. Grim old fellow. Reminded me of Theos.
He raises an eyebrow at you.
He was a tyrant. I was certain that if the villagers were free of his influence, they'd be free from the bloodletting too.
But it didn't happen.
So I arranged for him to have an accident.
He gives you a shy look. That seems like one of Theos' dirty tricks. I'd expect you to act with honor.
I did it for the right reasons. Not that this changed much. The old man died, and the villagers were terrified. They were convinced his death was an ill omen. They blamed it, and every other mishap that befell them, on their lack of faith. So they began bloodletting every week, turning on their neighbors for giving too little.
Yeah, his lips twist as the words themselves have a bitter taste, so they doubled down on their
Instead of a
decisions.
handful dying each year, a few perished every week.
He worked the edge of his sash into a tight knot he clenches in between pale, rigid fingers. And now you feel responsible for that. Maybe you should have left them alone. If you couldn't have known that would happen. This isn't your fault. If you barely understood the ritual, how did you expect to stop it? You tried to do the right thing, and that's what matters.
Is it? In the end, the villagers suffered more because of my actions.
He pauses again, untwisting the sash at his hip.
I keep wondering what I might have done differently, or how I could have known better.
I don't have an answer for that. Learning from mistakes like this is a good start. Stop dwelling on this, you'll paralyze yourself. The villagers had found a way to live with the ritual. In time, perhaps they would have changed it on their own. The villagers chose this. They're to blame here, not you.
I suppose so. I should get some rest. It's been a long day, and you've given me a lot to think about.
Wait, you still haven't told me what the Animasters have to do with any of this.
Ah, that.
He massages his temples.
I'm looking for an old Leaden Key sect. I found several references, but...
He breaks off, shaking his head.
I want to be sure. Please, let me go over my notes again. Then I promise I'll tell you everything.
Okay. I mean, we've been talking about this for a while anyway, so we'll talk more later. Interesting. Very interesting. Did a whole day pass while I was talking to people? I hope not. I don't think so. I don't think time passes while we're in conversation. Okay. Now, I suppose we can go back to the... It's not a trap. I want to have enough headway so I know when ships are coming. -1 morale? Hold up. Ooh. Okay. Oh, we made it. I was kind of afraid of that thunderstorm. Hi. We're back.
You're the captain who Aldi's invited to parley, ain't you?
Yes.
I'm to keep an eye out.
Just an eye? He taps a finger beneath his eye, one eye that isn't covered by a black patch.
It's so I can provide you an escort when you arrive.
Okay.
Right this way, Captain. It's my pleasure to show our honoured guest around. Aye, it sure is.
This is definitely a trap. And I guess we're gonna find out on the next episode. Bye, guys. See you later.